nothing about.
Rich, certainly this does have the Tom Brady seal of approval. Brady flew in for his top 30 visit, loved everything about Mendoza. Do not expect him to play early, though. Most likely scenario for the Raiders, Kirk Cousins is their starting quarterback to begin this season. Clint Kubiak believes that is the way to have long-term success, so likely Cousins early and hopefully throughout the season.
All right, now it's time for the rest of the draft to start. Pretty much. We knew Fernando Mendoza in first overall. The rest is a complete mystery. It does appear that Darren Muji, the general manager, has handed the phone over to Aaron Glenn to talk to the player that they are about to take. The clock is ticking down under 3 minutes. Who do you think it's going to be?
Well, I've been saying David Bailey. Much was made about his visit getting canceled to the Jets. We're going to find out if that visit was important or not here pretty quick, CD.
I would think that they already knew all they need to know about David Bailey. Use that top 30 on someone else. But all of us trying to glean, insight into a top 30 visit that's canceled, that's kind of folly.
Yeah, and listen, if you want someone to come in and play right away in a position that's already set, it's probably David Bailey. If you want to draft upside, it's probably Arvell Reese. So do you want to draft a player for the future, or do you want to draft a player for next September? I think that's the question.
Well, the pick is in, and again, to give you an idea of how fast this first round is going to go, Arizona's already 30 seconds into their time, and there could be a trade in the offing. We don't know, because as soon as the Jets make the pick, Arizona and the rest of the league is alerted as to who has been taken. So we're waiting for the first mystery of the night to be settled.
Yeah, it's ironic they're making a pick, and they're hoping that this pick can help them get a pick next year. To go an entire season without an interception, they need some more pass rush. That's not just a coverage issue, and that's what this pick is going to be meant to address.
And what were they in sacks last year?
31st.
So there is a direct correlation. When the front doesn't pressure enough, the back is under siege.
Yeah, so the Jets choosing second overall, and the top 30 visit being canceled. We'll find out if that really did have anything to do with their choice. That could have just been in the oven. It's baked.
He's a clean hit. David Bailey is graduated from Stanford, and there's no issue.
He graduated Stanford in 3 years.
They already went to the pro day, visited with him at the pro day, but it was a big story. So we'll find out.
And the Jets are choosing 16th overall. They might have been using their top 30 to figure out that pick a little bit more. With the second overall pick, the first question mark of this draft, and the domino effect that will tumble the minute we hear this name. We are about to get it from the commissioner. The Jets' second overall pick of this draft is...
With the second pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select David Bailey, linebacker, Texas Tech.
So they do take David Bailey out of Texas Tech, second overall. So much for that top 30 visit being canceled. They probably knew this was going to be the newest New York Jet. What do you think this means, Daniel?
Well, they want guys who can get off the ball quick and do it in a hurry. Darren Muji came from the Denver Broncos. When you look at their edge rushers, Nick Bonito was 5th in the league in fastest get-off. Their other edge rusher, Jonathan Cooper, was 7th in the league in fastest get-off. They want a fastball. This guy walking to the stage, trust me, he's going to be running to quarterbacks. He can get off the rock.
Joel made a great point about, are you drafting for September? Or are you drafting for September's hint, right? Look, we all know that there's still upside for David Bailey, but this Jets team was so bad last year, they've got to start looking competent right from the word go. David Bailey gives them a great chance to do that because he's a little more ready to go as an edge rusher. Arvell Reese is ready to go as a football player. We just don't know about the full conversion to edge rusher.
Earlier tonight, I was talking about experience and guys that have played a lot of football. Well, David Bailey is one of those guys that developed. You know, coming out of Stanford and transferring, it's not like this guy was a surefire top 10 NFL draft pick, but he goes to Texas Tech. They said that his practice habits increased and he got very good in terms of a worker. And because of that, he developed himself into this pick. This is what I'm talking about, these guys staying in school and then really catching the value of that.
David Bailey, the latest player to be handed a Jet jersey by a commissioner in a draft in a top 10, top 5 pick. We'll see how he pans out.
It's not like he's a poor athlete. He can really go, and you see that when you try and run away from him.
David Bailey is the highest drafted defensive player in Jets history. Quinnen Williams was 3rd overall in 2019. That was a record, along with Jerry Stovall of the 1963 AFL draft, 3rd overall. The Jets have never drafted a defensive player this high in a draft, and we send things to the stage. Laura Rutledge, take it away.
David's mom, Monica,
worked so hard for this, and now you're the first defensive player off the board in the NFL draft. What does it mean to hear your name called this early?
I mean, it's surreal to me, man. This is a great experience. This is an awesome opportunity, and I'm just so grateful, man. Shout out all the fans that came out here. I'm just happy to be here.
How will you immediately impact this Jets defense?
Man, I just want to get in there and just be a sponge, just soak up everything, just, rely on the vets, rely on the staff to make me the best player I can and, help out this organization, man. I feel like this organization is trending in the right way, so, man, I'm just ready to work.
All right, and David, in the last minute, Topps has made your first pro trading card, so go over there and sign it, okay? Congrats.
There he goes, signing his trading card, and he'll go off to New Jersey and be the latest New York Jets. So the Cardinals are on the clock. 2.5 minutes to go in their decision making. And this is, again, Bailey being the first pick, the first stone thrown in the draft pond here. The ripple effects with Arvell Reese, maybe Jeremiyah Love. Look at this beautiful shot. Wow. Aerial that we have. The home of the Pirates in the foreground. The home of the Steelers in the draft home. In the background, the Cardinals draft room clapping over a decision that's been made by Monty Ossenfort, the general manager, with his back to the camera. What do you think, Daniel?
That doesn't look like a trade. That looks like the pick that they're excited about. And to me, Jeremiyah Love's been the name we've been talking about there. Do they do it? They still have a couple needs on that offensive line. They got a couple key players there, CD. You can get to that. But to me, he's such a dynamic player, and you can throw him the ball, and that's how you can justify this. And we'll see if they could try and marry him up with a quarterback a little bit later on in the evening.
And they did make effort to improve the offensive line, getting Isaac Seumalo, who's going to play left guard next to Paris Johnson. I think Yale Proholt's a good center for them. They're getting more play out of Isaiah Adams, Elijah Wilkinson. But Joel made the point earlier tonight, and I've concurred with it all the way through. This is shades of Christian McCaffrey, that if we had put him at a slot receiver and just let him run routes, we would know exactly what we're getting in terms of a big-time wide receiver. That's going to be interesting there because Arvell Reese is still sitting there as a big-time player, and sometimes you just don't turn down. Best player available still applies, but Jeremiyah Love, I've advocated for this for a while. I think it's something they've got to consider strongly.
I would be fascinated to see what they do at the quarterback position later tonight or even tomorrow and trying to address that position, because this is one thing that you don't always talk about. You draft a running back like Jeremiyah Love. Let's say that's the pick. Are they built for him to succeed right away? I think that would be a question at Arizona. But one thing I do know, if that's the pick, he's going to help you be a better offense because of all the things that he can do and how explosive he is with the football in his hands. You just don't get guys that can score that many touchdowns from anywhere on the field, Rich.
Or do you tell Arvell Reese, come to us and go hunt the reigning MVP,
right,
and the reigning Super Bowl champs, and the San Francisco 49ers.
And Nick Rallis, the defense coordinator, is very creative.
And those are three.
And they kept him from the previous regime.
And those are three franchises with dynamic offenses, right? So you might need Jeremiyah Love to help keep up. So we're about to get the choice of the Arizona Cardinals. No trade. A lot of mocks had some teams moving up to take someone at 3. The Cardinals have stuck and picked, and here comes the commissioner to the stage right now with the 3rd overall pick. Fernando Mendoza went.
I tell you what, guys, I know a lot of people say you don't take a running back this high. You look a year ago, Ashton Genty going to the Raiders and didn't have this breakout rookie year because the pieces weren't there in front of him. May ask the same question about the Cardinals, but the beauty of Jeremiyah Love, as the guy's been talking about, is it's about getting him touches. It's about getting him out in space. It's about him being their Bijan Robinson or Christian McCaffrey, and he gives them a different dynamic and make the game easier on the quarterback if that's a young quarterback or one of the guys they have right now. So you go out and get another playmaker. They got some nice young playmakers on that offense. Secure that offensive line through the rest of the draft. They could do some things on offense.
I would just love his mentality, because I was around him actually at the Doak Walker Award. I hosted that award ceremony late in January, and the conversation I had with Jeremiyah made me fall in love with him all over again. Obviously, the tape is phenomenal, but I said, listen, what's your mentality? What do you want to do? And he looked at me and he said, I want to be great. I want a gold jacket. I want Super Bowl rings. This is why I play the game. I want to go someplace where I can be meaningful, I can be impactful, and that I can lead them to greatness.
And you don't take him, if you're the Arizona Cardinals and Monty Alcenfort, unless you're thinking we have a plan to address the quarterback position and put people around him. Jeremiyah Love has Hall of Fame talent. That's why he was taken at number 3.
And let's send things to Laura Rutledge on the stage with Jeremiyah Love.
Jeremiyah, your dad was your first ever coach. He's instilled so much confidence in you over the years. How special is this night and this moment for the two of you?
It's very special. You know, my dad was the first person that believed in me. And, man, he didn't sacrifice a lot to get me to this point. So I got to pay him back, got to pay my family back. And I'm looking forward to get to work in Arizona, you feel me?
I feel you. You are the first running back to be taken in the top 5 since 2018. Why will your skill set translate to the NFL?
I mean, it's just a blessing, you know. I feel very honored to represent the running backs. And I'm going to put on for them. I'm going to put on for all football players. I'm going to put on for Notre Dame. I'm going to put on for my family. And lastly, I'm going to put on for the Cardinals. We're going to do some special things together.
Congratulations, Jeremiyah.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So the Titans pick is in. The Giants are a minute already into the clock. You're getting an idea of how this